Welcome back for today's college basketball pick video play for February 15, 2019. As always, you can check out all of our college basketball picks for today's action over at stumpthespread.com, which is linked down in the video description. Heading into this one, going to be talking about this Horizon League matchup between Northern Kentucky and Wright State, and we're going to give our lean on where we see the better value against the spread. The home team, Wright State, coming in as very slight favorites, giving about 1.5 points. Now, these have clearly been two of the best teams within the Horizon. Northern Kentucky, overall, even when we go back to the non-conference part of the slate, this has been the best team within the Horizon throughout the course of the regular season, standing 20-6 overall and 10-3 within league play. And it'd be a big shame if Northern Kentucky wasn't able to go through the Horizon League tournament and get that automatic bid to represent the league in the NCAA tournament, because they've clearly been the best team thus far. So in terms of that record, 10-3 overall, those three losses are on the road, and this is where we've seen the Norse come up short, or a little bit shorter anyways, from their expectations this year have been in some of these road games within league play. But during this past week on their home court, of course, Northern Kentucky continuing to come through. They have one of the better home court advantages in mid-major basketball. They took down Detroit by a final of 97-65, and then in their last outing taking down Oakland by a final of 79-64. And actually, the Norse, they already played Wright State a little bit earlier in conference play, and it was a relatively competitive matchup, but at the end of the day, we saw Northern Kentucky come through in that one by a final of 68-64. And on the year, Northern Kentucky, they're averaging a little bit less than 80 points per game while giving up around 67, so they have a 13-point positive on their point differential. Now, Wright State, they didn't have quite the same level of non-conference as Northern Kentucky, but they've been pretty solid as well within Horizon League play. They're at 15-11 overall and 9-4 in league action. We take a look at what the Raiders have done more recently, and also their last two outings, both coming at home against Oakland and Detroit, defeating Oakland by a final of 76-62, and then in their last outing taking down Detroit by a final of 83-60. In the Raiders, they don't have quite as good of numbers as the North on both sides of the ball, but particularly on offense. So Wright State, they're averaging around 73 points per game, giving up around 68. So they have a 5-point differential to the positive side. So that means on a game-to-game average, Northern Kentucky has been 8 points better per game than Wright State. And when we factor in the home court advantage, one might think that the Norse would come into this one as around 5-point favorites, but that's clearly not the case in this one, as Northern Kentucky is giving 1.5 points. So if we're just taking a look at the numbers, it does feel like Northern Kentucky is rather significantly undervalued here. But if we take a look at the more recent history of what these teams have done, and specifically with Northern Kentucky having some issues in terms of their consistency on the road, it's not a huge surprise to see it differ from what the numbers would pan out. But still, at the end of the day, we feel like Northern Kentucky is being undervalued here. So we're going to side with the Norse, getting the 1.5 as the road team as the better value bet. If you agree, give the video a thumbs up. Disagree, give it a thumbs down. You can check out all of our college basketball picks for today over at stumpthespread.com, which is linked down in the video description. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we hope to see you guys back here for our next video.